Good morning, good morning. It is Sunday morning at 11 o'clock, and it is time for a Daily Dose of Donna. I love doing this every Sunday, and I enjoy being here with you. Thank you so much for being here. This has been an amazing month. This has been an exciting month, and this is a day that we are just going to take our time and enjoy ourselves. Hey, Wendy, I wasn't sure if you were going to be on because I saw that Rosie's back. Oh, please give her my love. Got you down, Wendy. Got you down. Say hello to Rosie for me and give her a hug. Yes. So it's been an amazing month so far. We have seen so many changes. We have seen the whole spectrum of behaviors, and that's exactly what was happening. Hey, Deborah, got you down. So glad you're here today. Yes. So there's a lot going on, and especially with this full moon this week, all month. Oh, she's on her way back to school. Oh, she's already gone. Oh, okay. So I gotta send her an air hug. I'll have to let her know. All right, thank you, Wendy. So maybe we can talk later so we can FaceTime with that little guy also, and you. So it's been one of those months. Don't you feel like somehow you're supposed to catch your breath? It's like, wow, from the beginning of the month to, Andrea, okay, I've got you down for sure. I've got my three people. We have Wendy Vargas, Deborah Robbins, and Andrea Feinberg. Thank you so much. Hey, Catherine. So glad you're here. Rose, so glad you're here. Yes, good morning, good morning. It has been a month of behaviors from one end of the spectrum to another. It's been unsettling, and it's been peaceful, and it's been positive, and it's been disconcerting all at the same time. I mean, this is Uranus involved in all of this. So yes, all right, Andrea, groovy. So here we are. The sun is in Aquarius, and there's a lot going on in Aquarius. And it just joined Saturn, so it started a whole new cycle for the year with the sun joining Saturn in Aquarius. Now, we're doing the full moon reading in Leo today, which is, of course, the opposite sign of Aquarius, which is what makes it a full moon. So we all have these signs in our chart. Where they show up, hey, Jackie, I'm so glad you're here. Where they show up in your chart depends upon your natal chart and how that occurs. So here we have it now, Sun in Aquarius. We have Mercury becoming retrograde in Aquarius on January 30th. Our full moon is the 28th in Leo. Mercury goes retrograde on the 30th, and it will retrograde back from 26 degrees of Aquarius. It will retrograde all the way back to 11 degrees of Aquarius and go direct on February 20th. So it's like it'll stay in Aquarius the whole time. And this is not a bad thing. This is a good thing, as it kind of allows us to catch up. A lot has happened. How do we review it? How do we assimilate it? How do we make some sense of all that's happening? How do we feel right now? And this, because and you know, those of you that have watched me for a while, know that I love Mercury retrogrades and that it gives us that time to regroup. And that's what this is all about. As I told you at the beginning of January, this year is about redefining who you are, how you impact the world and yourself and those around you. It's all about redefining that. It's not about reinventing. It's redefining it. That's a whole different energy in redefining. And that's what we have this opportunity to do with Mercury retrograde, because it's going to stay in Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign, and it rules our community and our social interactions and how we view that. So what's really interesting, Mars is still in Taurus, so it's giving us even more energy. Again, squaring all of that, which is a 90-degree angle to it, and it gives energy to what is it that you have to offer. Now, when we talk about what you have to offer, it's not just about offering to others, it's offering to yourself. How are you going to use that? And we can call it self-care, but I'm going to go even deeper in calling it self-love. How are we going to offer to ourselves that opportunity to expand? And it comes with taking care of ourselves, loving ourselves enough that we can move forward with that. So what is the plan? What plan do you have for that? The moon is in Gemini, which is an air sign. Gemini rules the third house of the zodiac, so it's all about communication and information. So that's what today is. It is about learning new information, whether it's news, whether it's our communications, and this is the fine line to what is truth and what is not truth. And that's what Gemini helps us see. And this may be a day that notions are revealed to you that you really understand, wow, maybe that wasn't exactly how I thought it was. Maybe this is the information that it really applies to, and you see it in a whole different perspective once you have that truth. Now, Neptune in Pisces is making a wonderful aspect to all of this, and it's giving us this opportunity today to just sit back and enjoy. Sit back and relax. And that's not a bad thing. That's really a good thing to have that opportunity to do that. Well, the new moon this month was January 13th in Capricorn. So now when we come to the full moon in Thursday in Leo, we now get to assess what were those intentions that we set out in the new moon on January 13th, and how do we see it evolving, expanding, and manifesting now. So that's what we're going to relate to with this reading. So the full moon in Leo, January 28th, is at 2:16 p.m. and it's at 9 degrees of Leo. And this new moon is a T-square. That means it's opposites and then that 90 degree right in the middle. So here we have dividing this chart in half and then dividing that in half as well. So we end up with a T-square. And that's what that's called. So what we have is a square to 5 planets in Aquarius. And this T-square involves 5 planets, but there's 3 planets in Aquarius right now, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. And then we have Mars and Uranus in Taurus. So this completes this T-square. Oops, let me take care of that really, really quick. And I totally forgot about this. Oh my goodness, let me get do not disturb on. There we go. So the energies of Leo, the moon, the full moon's going to be sitting out there all by itself amidst squaring and opposition to all of these planets. And Leo can hold its own. Leo is a fire sign. Leo is a fixed sign. And the energies of Leo are generosity, warmth, expansion, artistry, vitality, self-confidence, authority, self-discipline, magnetism, and brave and calm demeanor. Now, all of these are wrapped up into this new moon, full moon that we have in Leo. But can you imagine? It's being challenged by all of the Taurus and Aquarius planets. But Leo can hold its own. So what are we going to learn from that? And that's what this reading is going to be about. So let's set that intention right now as we begin this reading on how we are going to move forward with this. What is this going to evolve for us? With those intentions that we set at the new moon on January 13th, what are we going to see happening? And let's face it, from January 13th till now, a lot has happened, both within our own lives, but also nationally and globally, because these aspects affect it all. They're in the sky. It's all part of our energy. And the whole reason of needing the birth time and location when we do a natal chart is because the sky does not look the same from all locations. I remember when it was very interesting when years ago when my husband and I went to Australia and New Zealand, what the sky looked like there. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, but so different from my seeing it from North America. So that's the point. How do we see it? How is it going to affect us? And now let's do this. This is a 7-card reading. I've now shuffled, split the deck, and I'm taking the bottom card as the summary card. And boy, the summary card is not a surprise. So here we go. 6 cards. And let's start with card number 1. Always, and I do this with the personal readings as well, if I don't feel there's enough clarity from the card, I'll draw another one. And when I do a reading with someone else, with a reading, doesn't matter which reading it is, if there's not enough clarity from that card, then we move on. Also, there is the special for this month still, which is the New Year Ahead 2021, and it's half price at $49. The other part of that is that if you feel that this full moon is something that is important to you, that's going to impact you, and especially if you are a Leo or you are on some of those angles, which is Scorpio, Taurus, or Aquarius, and you just feel like you really need to see how you are impacted by this, then please reach out, because that will also be half price. Just have to say, I know you did that full moon reading on Facebook Live on Sunday, and I'd like to have it, and it is yours, not for the $97, but for the $49. And just sharing a personal note, I noticed that even Mercury retrograde goes retrograde at 26 degrees of Aquarius, which is exactly opposite my sun. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to see how that goes. Whoa. Okay, first card. What have I created and manifested since the full moon? This is one of my favorite cards. This is the Three of Wands, and this is the fire sign. What this means is that the Two of Wands, excuse me, was the card that sent your message, sent whatever that energy was out into the universe. And the Three of Wands is how you watch it come back. You are now seeing whatever you intended begin to come back to you. You're seeing it not fully manifested, but you're seeing that parts of it are coming. You know that it's coming because you're beginning to see these little bits and pieces that are happening and coming to you. And that's what this card says, that whatever you intended is now showing up. The path to that manifestation is definitely showing up, that you're in the right alignment, that you're in the right intention, you're in the right place, however you want to put that. Now, does that happen to mean that it's a physical thing? No. It can very well be your own internal being, spirit, understanding and coming to some sort of accommodation and peace within yourself with all the events that have happened, either just in your immediate circle or what's been happening nationally or globally. So you're beginning to feel some of that coming together and how it's happening. So that's really great. Now, after all of that, the second card is, where am I now? Guess what? It's now the Two of Wands. As I mentioned, the Two of Wands was about sending that message out into the universe. The Three of Wands is watching it come back. So, okay, you're asking the question, hey, come on, that's in reverse. How can I be watching it come back and then I'm going to give out the message? Well, the card is, where am I now? I have not just sent out my message, stopped, and watch it come back. I am continuing to share in a positive way, and I'm expanding on that message. And that's why that message, that energy, that feeling, whatever it is that in space that you're in right now, that's what's now going out, because you haven't stopped. If you have this feeling of, and trust me, there was a lot of people out there intending peace and quiet and loving vibes going out for January 20th. And it worked. It's out there. But does that mean you stop? No, because we have so many things that we want to see in a peaceful way. This also applies to your business, it applies to personal interactions, it applies to family, it applies nationally, it applies to yourself. Is it that message that you're telling yourself, this is who I really am? A lot of people are saying, I am finding and living my authentic self. That's how I want to be. And that is just an energy that you're sharing. You don't even have to say, okay, I'm not doing this anymore because I'm going to live my authentic self. Once we arrive at that place, we don't have to share it and don't have to tell anybody. But that's what this message is saying. that you have been sharing this energy, you've been sharing this vibe, you've been sharing this message, whatever you want to call it, how it is specific to you, and you are continuing to do it, but not as a loop in the same old message over and over and over again. It's expanding and getting bigger and more generous and more loving. And that, because Wands is a fire sign, so it's passion and spirit, and you're now being able to share it truthfully, honestly, sincerely, and authentically. And that's so important, so important. Okay, third card. What is coming into my conscious awareness? I love this card. This is the, yeah, I know, I love them all. I know, that's what you're saying. I heard that. Prince of Swords. This is the Prince of Swords. Okay, so this placement is what is coming into my conscious awareness now. That as I live my truth, anything is possible. I don't have to live in fear now. Because the Prince of Swords is, swords being the air sign, so that's all about our thoughts. The Prince of Swords is usually depicted as just charging forward out there without thinking of consequences or his own safety, and just, I'm going to do this no matter what. Just totally impulsive. But what it's saying is, I don't have to be in fear anymore. I can step out. Maybe it's not at the level of the Prince of Swords. I mean, considering that we're living in a pandemic, that's probably not a good idea. But you can do it in your own way, in your own expansion of your circle, however that suits and fits you. We start with that first step. So what is coming into my conscious awareness now? That I have the ability to be and do anything. I already talked about that and this is about the full moon in Leo, and I talked about that self-confidence and self-discipline and self-awareness that's part of Leo. So that's what this is saying. With that Leo full moon, I'm learning anything is possible. Next card, fourth card. What is no longer serving me? Okay, this is the Ten of Swords. Doesn't that look exciting? Okay, this is similar to the Death card, and I love the Death card because what it's saying is I'm releasing that old that doesn't serve me any longer, that's holding me back, that's keeping me in my small bubble instead of allowing me to expand, that's keeping me in that box so I can't see outside of the box to all the wonderful things that are there. That's what this card is saying. What is no longer serving me? Thinking small, thinking limited, thinking without self-confidence that I can't do this. All those limited thoughts and thinking is going away. And that's what the full moon in Leo will do. You're working on it already. It's not that all of a sudden we have the full moon in Leo and then you wake up and say, wow, I don't need this anymore. No, you've been working on this for a while. This just gives the energy and allows you to really see how far you've come. That is a blessing in itself, because sometimes we keep going and we keep going and we don't realize how much we've expanded and how much you have done, accomplished internally to allow it to manifest physically. Okay, here's our Major Arcana card, which is how can I release and let go of these energies? That's not easy. Come on, we've had some of these old beliefs from childhood, and it's not that they're wrong, it's that they don't serve you any longer. There's no judgment on it. It's that you have to find your right place. And this card is the Temperance card. So if this is how can I release and let go of these energies, take your time. Notice how the water goes back and forth here. Water, when it appears on the card, is about healing. You'll make your move forward, and then you might have a step backwards, and that's okay. You recognize it and you keep on going. When we have an old belief, it's like it has to be peeled away. We've had it a long time. Some of those, especially from childhood and how you were raised, and your parents were raising you with the way they knew best, and so that's what you learned. It doesn't always serve you now. One of my best examples is Have you ever noticed some adults that still have the behavior of a 3 or 4-year-old? They haven't moved forward, and it must be very unsettling for them to then not be able to, be adulting, as they say. So this is about recognizing it, and don't beat yourself up. Most importantly, do not beat yourself up. The whole point is you're moving forward. You're doing that thing that Leo does best, which is shining. The sun is the ruling planet of Leo. It's about shining your light. It's about sharing your light. All of this has been about that so far. And so this Temperance card is saying, do the best you can, move forward at the pace that works for you, and don't beat yourself up. This is a major arcana card, so this is a higher level, higher soul card, higher energy explanation of this. This is not just giving yourself a pat on the back and saying, yeah, I did this, okay, let's go. This is saying soul level, spirit level. Don't beat yourself up. You're doing fantastic, and most importantly, you are loved. Most importantly, you are loved. Next card, the 6th card. What additional resources are available to me? This is an interesting one because this is called the Theft card. And this is the 7 of Swords. Right now, what this card is saying is that with everything that's been happening this past year, we're feeling that things have been taken away from us, that we've had a loss, that stolen from us has been maybe our identity because of work having to change, maybe money, maybe people that we love seeing but we can't see right now. All of those things that we feel have been stolen from us. Being able to be out in crowds and attend sporting events or music events or whatever it happens to be. Again, this is the 7 of Swords. Swords is the air sign. Swords is about our thoughts. So if we're looking at it from that perspective, then let's change the perspective. In that not being able to get out and do what we want to do, we have been able to learn more about ourselves and our own stability and our own awareness of who we are. So this is a perspective, but it doesn't have to be your truth. Nothing has been stolen from you, and it's only your truth if you allow it and if you believe it. Now the summary card is, oh boy, 5 of Wands, confusion, chaos. Yes, there is, because we're trying to find our place in our world now. And there's, as it applies to this card, there's the good times that we move forward, and then there's those times that we take those 2 steps back. There's that time that we think we're getting our message out there and we see it coming back, but then the message isn't always what we thought it was going to be as it returns to us. The understanding of it has changed. There's going to be some chaos. Make peace with the chaos. Isn't that interesting? That's just what I heard right now. Make peace with the chaos. I'm just repeating what I heard. What does that mean? That means if you accept that it's going to be a little bit confusing or a lot confusing around you right now, you can make peace with that. It's not going to be a surprise. You don't have to lament that it's going to happen because it's happening. It's just going to be that way, and it's okay. 5 of Wands is about spirit. A lot of this comes from finding out who we really are right now. And some of us are looking at it and saying, wow, maybe it's time to do this because I'm not really happy with what I'm seeing. And my behavior and how I relate to those people around me right now isn't the way I really want to do it. And it's not happening from a loving perspective. So how can I do that in a more loving way? We've had this opportunity to go deep over all this past year. And this full moon after the new moon on January 13th is just telling us it's all okay and we can do this. That's what I love about Leo, is that self-confidence. And it's about magnetism. Can you imagine that energy that you're putting out there in a positive way can now be returning to you? See it coming back to you. That's what this first card is all about. You have a choice. You're the only one that can create this. No one else can do it for you. You set that in motion. You make it happen. Will there be times that you'll be taking a step back and saying to yourself, no, I'm not doing this. Don't even try to make me push my way to that. I'm just not. I can't, I won't, and I'm done. And then what happens? You decide, I'm going to be the winner of this debate, even if it's with myself. And I'm going to come out on top because I really do know I can do this. And that's all that matters, knowing that you can. All the rest is the journey getting there, but it's knowing that you can. Wow. Okay, so we have Wendy first for a card. Please keep in mind that online tarot gallery reading is open for Tuesdays at noon. Our Thursday night at 7 o'clock is full. But let me offer this, and I just happen to think about it now. If the Thursday is full, but you still prefer Thursday night at 7, but you still prefer an evening, just message me, and what I'll do is open up a slot for Tuesday evening instead of Tuesday noon. So I'm okay with doing that. And I may make that addition to my website if you go to the online tarot gallery reading. Right now, you're only going to see Tuesday at noon. So what I would like you to do is, if that's something that you'd like, is an evening session. And you're, okay, I'm hearing the question, what is the online tarot gallery reading? That is the single card reading, just like what I'm going to be doing now, except we do it in a closed group. Right now, the Thursday night group is women that have phenomenal energy. And each card, because there's 10 to 12 people, depending upon the fluctuation of who's there, and each person has their own personal card. But then, each card relates to you individually as well. So, in essence, you're getting a 10-card reading, with one of those 10 cards being your own summary card, your own phenomenal personal card. And you're getting a full card reading for 1 hour, where if you go on my website, an hour reading's $197. But if you join online tarot gallery reading and we meet once a month, it's $9.97. $9.97. So I'm hoping that you will be part of that. And again, if Tuesday at noon, I added a noon as a possibility, because some people said that they couldn't make the evening ones. But if actually an evening one works better for you, let me know, because we can open up another session on the third Tuesday of the month, and it can move from there. And I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to do that. Okay, Wendy. Here we go, Wendy. 2 of Wands. Sending that message, sending that energy out into the world. I feel that there is some kind of shift that's happened for you, and possibly that elevation of energy that I'm feeling is because Rosie got to do a pit stop from Jamaica to Philadelphia. She got to come to Miami to see her mom. So that could be part of it. This feels like sending that message out, but it's also about watching her go and being delighted and excited in seeing her and how she is now, and that fully embracing, oh wow, it's that fully embracing who she is now as she becomes a young woman. Yes, she's still in college, and she's had this she's just a marvelous woman now, and she's moving into that. Watching her grow, watching her evolve, watching her be this person just makes your heart expand and sing and love her even more, because she is special. She is unique. Wow, I can feel your heart just going, wow. Yes, there's a lot of love there. God bless Rosie, and God bless you, because you had a lot to do with how she is and the young woman that she is, because you are the marvelous person that you are. So that makes a big difference. Okay, Deborah. Ooh, I'm going to look at both cards because as you saw, that one flipped off just at the same time I was reading it. Interesting. Okay. And interesting. All right. The card that flipped first, let me go with the one that I opened up, and that was the King of Wands. Now, I love that because this is about learning to care more about what this is how it's feeling to me for you. The King of Wands is the Aries king. Aries rules the first house of the zodiac, so it's all about me. That's it. That's what this is about. What I'm feeling is you are moving in the direction of understanding that in caring about how you feel first, it has a positive impact on what happens around you. But at the same time, here we have the Five of Wands that kind of flipped off. That's supposed to say, don't give up. It can feel a little bit chaotic. It can feel like I'm going against old beliefs that I've had where I'm supposed to think about everybody else first. You'll have your balance. It's not that you're going to then be within everyone else saying, well, it's all about me. I'm going to take care of me. I'm not going to care about you. I'm not going to do any of that. That's not it. The point is you will reach a balance. But it is important in order for you to take care and do everything that you want to do. And I know that you've got some new ventures out there. It's about making yourself happy first. You know, they have that saying, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. It's about taking care of yourself first, making sure that all of that happens. Hey, Sydney. Yay. I'm so glad you're here. So, yes, you will always have balance in this, Deborah. So don't beat yourself up about it, and you deserve it. Okay? So I love that you are thinking about some new ventures, and it's all coming together, and that means go for it. Go for it. If it may mean an adjustment in how you're living and relating to others in your life, then that's okay. It's okay. That's part of it. It's part of it. And if people love you enough, they're happy to see you happy. So it's all good. Okay, Andrea. All right. Okay. This is kind of, now this is, how many times have we seen this card today? This is the third time. Lots going on for you, Andrea. And again, you are the person up here at the top. This is about Wands, which is the fire sign, which is about your passion and your purpose and your inner spirit. So all of this comes together. This feels very powerful for you, Andrea. All of this is coming together to create not just who you are and want to be to expand, but everything around you. So actually what this is feeling for me, for you, is how magical this is. How phenomenal this is, that in all of this, there is amazing growth going on in terms of your businesses, both of them, and, you know, especially the coaching part. I know that that's comes first, but your creative part as well with the jewelry, and just who you are, the relationships, everything that's going on. So it isn't a bad thing. This, to me, is like there's so many opportunities in front of me. How do I decide which one? And sometimes it feels like I'm battling myself to make that decision. But I know that, yes, your Scorpio self can handle all of this, because the Scorpio, being the most intense sign of the zodiac, is the one that also digs the deepest. And that's where you find the solutions. So this feels very positive for you. I mean, that's the intuitive part of the reading of the card for you, Andrea, because for another person, it may really be flipping chaos, you know, so, but that's not what I'm feeling for you. I'm feeling this as being a moment of expansion, a time of expansion, because you have so many opportunities. That is so wonderful. I'm so happy for you. And Sydney, you're saying this is soothing energies in your world. That is wonderful as well. And especially today with Neptune and Pisces just being so peaceful to everything that's happening around you. I'm excited for you, Andrea, because I really feel that these are amazing opportunities coming your way that are right in front of you. And now it's like, oh my God, which one do I do now? Now, realizing everyone that's watching this, whether now or later, these cards apply to you as well. The specifics that I gave to Andrea are the parts that are the intuitive connection that I have, but that doesn't mean that this message doesn't have some word of truth or whatever in it for you as well. Okay, Andrea, I'm so happy to see that. That is so great that you're really feeling the positivity and expansion of this. The energies now are so open that the very fact that we're talking about a T-square with oppositions and squares and all that other stuff, all that means is energy. More energy, not draining energy, but exciting, creative energy for us to use. New ideas coming into, I mean, all those planets, especially Mercury and Aquarius, that's an air sign. New ideas coming together about how we can make our own world better. That means our own little small world, big world, whatever. But how we can make all of that happen, and that's what makes it so exciting. That's what makes it so great. Yes, today is a good day. Today is really a good day. And I am so happy that you're here. Wendy, Deborah, and Andrea, thank you for engaging first and sharing your energy with the rest of the group. That makes it really special. Again, check out the comments above for all the specials. And even though the new moon in Leo reading is not listed, it is still a reading that you can have and at half price. It won't be the full price. We can just take care of that too. Okay, Deborah, see, lots going on in her Scorpio world as well, Andrea. There we go. Oh, I love it. Have a beautiful, wonderful Sunday. I have two little babies beside me. I'm dog sitting for a while, and so I have Griffin and Lucy. They're with me until tomorrow. Okay. It's coming in from my previous. Oh, okay. All right. Catherine, I'll get back to you and comment later, or I'll text you because I do not like to touch my iPad while the messages are coming in, and my iPad only gives me a short, does not give me your whole message. So I will get back to you on that, Catherine, once I can read the whole message. Thank you, Andrea. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful day. It's a beautiful Sunday. And remember, joy has your name on it.